Hey, this is Mike. I'm in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, visiting Hyatt Buick GMC, and this is a crazy awesome vehicle. It's a 2016 GMC Yukon Denali, and it is loaded with all kinds of cool features, and we're going to check out every single one of them. So hold on tight. It's going to be a little bit of a long video, so I understand if you want to skip around, please do. Also, if you don't mind, as soon as you see any value in this video, please go ahead and share it with somebody. They might think it's valuable as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and check it out. Before we get too into detail with the features, I just want to mention the stuff that you can't see. This is a body-on-frame SUV with a fully boxed frame like a truck, and it is a solid vehicle. And this is one of the type of vehicles where you can put all your family in there and get out on the highway and feel very comfortable that you are in a safe, large, comfortable vehicle. One of the things that people are concerned with on the highway, especially with little vehicles, is like big trucks and stuff like that. So you can drive side by side with the big trucks on the highway going 70-80 miles an hour, whatever the speed limit is, and it's going to be no big deal. You're going to really feel a lot safer than driving just a regular sedan or something like that. Okay, so as you probably can see from here, 20-inch aluminum wheels that really stand out, but they're not gaudy, they're not flashy, they're not too ostentatious. They have a classy look with the gray and the aluminum combination there. And it has the four-wheel disc brakes. Go ahead and check out here. Now it has the ventilated. Typically you would see disc brakes that are ventilated in the front but not the back. This one has ventilated disc brakes in the front and the back, so you have some really good stopping power. With a large vehicle, you definitely want to have the stopping power. Not to mention, this vehicle has 420 horsepower with its 6.2 liter V8, and it's rated at 21 on the highway. And I had to read that twice. I was like, there's no way. 420 horsepower, 7-passenger vehicle, 21 miles per gallon on the highway. That is absolutely amazing. And some people say they get a little bit better than that out on the highway. So let's go ahead and check it out. It has the HID projector headlights here in the front, and then you have the reflector halogens there as the high beams, and then the halogen fog lights here at the bottom. Then you see these little circles, those are your parking sensors. But check out that grille. The Denali's really get your attention with that grille coming in, and you just like, wow. You have that matte silver here in the center, big GMC in red, and then you have the chrome accenting as a frame on the outside. Awesome. And I like the way they incorporated the little GMC in the headlight assembly. That's pretty cool. Okay, so here's the key fob. Really interesting key fob. It's very solid feeling and one of the most high quality key fobs that I've seen before. So you can see it has lots of buttons here. You can lock and unlock the doors. You can also remote start the vehicle. Also, you can open up the power lift gate. To remote start the vehicle, you just make sure it's locked, push the lock button, and then you immediately push and hold the remote start button. And it'll take a second, but it'll go ahead and start up. Okay, so the key fob is a proximity key, and all I have to do right now, I'm just going to put this key in my pocket. The vehicle is still locked. I did turn it off. You push and holding the remote start will turn it back off. So I'm just going to put the key in my pocket and show you how to use this vehicle without actually having the key out. You can have the key in your pocket or your purse, and you can completely use the vehicle without worrying about the key, fumbling around with the keys and all that stuff. Okay, so it's locked. So right now it's locked. I'm going to show you that it's locked. To unlock it, as long as you have the key nearby, like in your pocket, and I'm standing next to the vehicle, it's within a certain proximity, which I think it's around 5 feet. You just walk up and push this button. It unlocks the door. So now I can open up the door. If I want to relock it, all I have to do is push this button again, and now it's locked again. All right, so let me go ahead and push it again, unlock it, and we're going to go ahead and start checking out the inside. So here is the inside of the passenger door, and you'll notice how it has like this tier system with storage space, place to put some bottles, more than one, and then a storage space there, and then you have this little space here kind of hidden under the handle, which is pretty awesome. Maybe put your cell phone or whatever there. So the interior colors are cocoa and shale. So the brown here, I'm assuming, is the cocoa, and then this will be considered the shale, and it has the like an artificial wood grain accent here, and then your blacks, of course, and then you got the chrome handle. Plus you have the chrome around the speaker of the Bose premium sound system, which will blow your mind. You got to check that out. When you take one for a test drive, make sure that you crank up the radio a little bit, just for a few seconds to check it out. Okay, so here is the passenger seat, and heated and cooled seats here in the front. It's got the Denali stitching there in the headrest, perforated leather, super soft and comfortable seats. You do have lumbar support, adjustable lumbar support, as well as your power seats here in the front. You have the handle there to get in and out, plus you've got a fixed step on this one, so you can get in and out of the vehicle. And check out that Denali badge in the threshold. Has a locking glove compartment. Kind of small for a vehicle this size, but it has, has a glove compartment, which you have all kinds of other compartments too. Just like this one here on the side of the console. That's more for like papers. You can put of course anything you want in there, but typically, like if you have papers in your hand, the mail or something like that, you can just put it in there. Pretty awesome. Okay, so let's go ahead and check out here in the back. Now this is a third row vehicle, and you have the captain's chairs. This one in particular has the captain's chairs in the second row, which leaves you, which I'll show you that in a second. Let's just take a peek here at the back door. Now you notice the cup holders have been moved here more in the front, and instead of down. I really like the way they do that because it makes it easier for you to access the cup. Since the door is slightly smaller, that's just a better position to have it in. But you do have this little tier system where you have a smaller pocket and another pocket down there, and then of course the same styling as the front. You can utilize the step to get in the back as well. It does also have a handle to get in the back. So heated seats back here, heated perforated seats. They do recline in case you want to, if you're so inclined to recline, you can do that. And very comfortable seats as well. They have pretty good height off the floor to keep your knees from sticking up in the air. You can see the little vents here for the cooling system in the front seats, and then it has a storage pocket there. Below that, you have the ability to adjust your climate control back here. You have a little pocket there at the bottom just to kind of throw your cell phone or whatever. But check this out. Speaking of cell phones, you have a power supply here, 12 volt, plus you have this Edison plug, 115 volt Edison plug, that it's not going to power like a hair dryer or anything, but it will power charging your cell phone or some other like a laptop, stuff like that. And then your heated seat controls are here, and they have 3 settings, high, medium, and low. You got some tap lights, vents there on the ceiling. So children or somebody pretty nimble can jump up in here and squeeze between the seats, which is a pretty good amount of room, and get into the back row, the third row there, and sit down and buckle up and all that stuff. Now you can move the seat out of the way to also get in the third row as well. So let me show you how to do that. Now there's 2 positions this seat has. One is the cargo mode, which is like so. Putting this seat down plus putting the back seats down will give you a massive amount of cargo capacity. Now another thing that people use this for is they sit in the third row and they put their feet up here on this back of the seat as kind of like a ottoman or something. So that's the first position. The second position is you can either use this strap back here for the people in the back to use, or you can lift this handle again and it unlatches and it lifts it up into that position. So now it's gonna pretty much completely out of the way, so you can climb up here and get in to the third row. So the third row has a cup holder here and some little storage places, and that side has a 12-volt power supply and 2 cup holders, different sizes. You also have some tap lights and vents and all that stuff back here. And the seat's not super high off the floor, so you know, somebody that's really tall might have a little bit of an issue sitting back here for long periods of time, but not too bad overall. So taking a look here in the back, you can see it has really good privacy glass, and you have the parking sensors back here across the back, a towing hitch that is concealed under this cover, plus you have your spare tire under there, and it's got the GMC badge with the chrome, really looking good. But opening up the lift gate, you can do it with this button here as well as the key. So let's go ahead and check it out. So back here we have a pretty limited cargo capacity, I would say. For, you know, if you had a whole 7 passengers in this vehicle, then, you know, this would be your cargo area, and it has a little bit more space under here, like so. That's to kind of keep stuff out of sight. You have a cargo anchor points here, and over here you also have a 12-volt power supply. But check this out. Let's say you need to put something back here. You're not really utilizing all the back seat, the third row seat. It's a 60-40 split, as you can tell by this crease here. And you have these buttons, which this is pretty cool, because I'm gonna go just kind of lower down this one seat. Okay, so now, just with a push of a button in a few seconds, I've increased my cargo capacity tremendously. Okay, still, I have the ability to put some passengers in the third row and the second row. Okay, so let's say I don't need to use the second row, the third row here. I can lower down this seat as well by pushing a button. You see how quick that is. So look at this, I've pretty much tripled my cargo capacity in just a few seconds. And also I can have a combination of cargo and passenger space, all depending on what I need. I might just need one person in the back and I can fold this down. But it doesn't end there. Let's say I have a big box or something that I need to put back here. I just bought a, a huge 4K TV or whatever, and I need to put it back here, and it's just not quite enough space. But yet I still have 3 passengers or 3 people riding in the vehicle. All I got to do is push this button. Okay, so now that folds that seat. I can still have a person on one side, and that seat's fold down, so now I've increased it a lot. I can go even further depending on how many passengers I have. Now, I have a massive amount of cargo capacity, but of course my passenger capacity is diminished a little bit there. So you get the idea. Now you can also, these buttons do more than just flip down the seat. You can also flip the seat up completely, like so. That one's not going all the way because the driver's seat's too far back, but you can see where it's flipped up now out of the way. So you can have the ability to flip that seat up with a push of a button. You can also do it if you're sitting in the third row. You can push a button and it gets the seat out of your way so you can get out. Okay, so really cool features where you can just push a button and all of a sudden you can utilize all kinds of different combinations of cargo and passenger space. So you also have the ability, in addition to the power lift gate or tailgate, you can open up this glass and get some stuff that way. So under here, To the far right, you'll feel a rubber button. You just push that, pops it open, and you can lift it up like so. And that way you can, quickly access stuff here. Another use for this is to, like pack stuff in there. And then that way you're kind of utilizing the tailgate to kind of keep stuff in there. Otherwise, you wouldn't be able to pack it as much. And then that might just be me doing that. But anyways, that's one cool feature. So we're checking out the key again because I just want to show you it has two buttons. One is for the overall tailgate, so it'll be lifted up, and this other one is for the glass to be popped. So I can double tap that one and it pops open the glass like so. So now the glass is open. Now the other one is for the whole lift gate right here, so I just double tap that. Except for this one will go all the way up. Like so. So one, the glass you actually have to go over and lift it up. The big portion will lift up itself. And lowering it, you just push this button. Or you can, of course, use the key to double tap it. So the fuel door is on the driver's side, which is very convenient. You just push and open it like so. And you'll notice there's no cap. Does not require a cap. You just put the fuel nozzle in there, gas it up, and when you're done, you just close the door and you're all set. To start the vehicle, as long as you have the key in the vehicle with you, to start it, without the remote start of course, you get in and keys in your pocket, you just put your foot on the brake, hold it, and push the button. Simple as that. So let's take a look under the hood. So opening the hood, you just, right here in the center, right above the M, there's a little latch. You just reach in, you can kind of feel it, and you move it to the right. It's right here, and it lifts up, and once it goes up a few inches, it'll go up the rest of the way by itself. And 6.2 liter Ecotec 3, 420 horsepower, and this is also paired with an 8-speed automatic transmission, rock solid. It gives you the best gear ratio, pretty much any speed that you need. Plus it can tow up to 8,400 pounds, which is amazing. 4-wheel drive vehicle. And you can actually see some engine here. It's covered up a little bit with plastic, but you can still see some engine, which that's what I like to see when I lift the hood. And it's pretty smooth and quiet for such a big, large displacement engine. Alright, so here we are on the inside, 2016 GMC Yukon Denali. Plenty of room up here, lots of features, everything is pretty much easy to get to and easy to use. I've got plenty of leg room and knee room and all that stuff. Steering wheel it's all within reach. So let's go ahead and start over here on the driver's door, which is basically the same as the other side as far as the layout, except for it has a few more buttons. Your presets for your seats are here, so you can set 1 or 2 presets. It also pairs with the key, but also you have this exit button to where the steering wheel and the seat will get out of your way. So up here we have your child locks for your back, so you can like literally push a button and the kids can't open up the door from the inside. You also have the ability to lock out the rear windows to where they can't play around with the windows either. So you got the power windows, one touch, like so. And it's a one touch up too, but I'm gonna stop it because I want to show you that it has the glass that is double pane. I don't know if you can see that, but it's a double pane laminated glass that has acoustic material between the two panes of glass to, you know, help with some sound proofing. Alright, side mirrors are controlled here. You just have to pick one side and then you can adjust it with this pad. But check this out, it has this button here which folds them in. It's power folding side mirrors. It does that on both sides. And they're both heated side mirrors. And you'll notice this one is dimming. It's auto dim side mirror on the driver's side. And the reason why it's auto dimming right now is because the shade that I have is covering up the light sensor here, which is also auto dimming the rearview mirror. But we'll get into that. But isn't that cool? Now this vehicle has a blind spot monitoring system, and the reason why I bring that up is because the little indicator is on. See if I can get it to focus in on that. Okay, so you can see it better on the passenger side. You see that little indicator there shows a car with a little star. The reason why you can't see it very good, it's not illuminated. It will illuminate and let you know if there's a vehicle in your blind spot on the particular side. So this is the passenger side, so it'll show you on the passenger side mirror that there's a vehicle on your passenger side in the blind spot. And it'll especially alert you if you were to put your turn signal on in that direction. So the blind spot monitoring system also helps out with if you're backing out of a perpendicular parking spot and there's a vehicle coming from either side, it will alert you as well, because you can't sometimes see around the cars that are beside you. Really cool feature there, and it has like a radar type or some kind of sensing system in the side of the vehicle. It's all hidden, and you know, it's one of those features that you can't really see, but it's very, very useful and a very good safety feature. Okay, so your power door locks are here, and you notice everything's just really easy to get to. So over here is your dimmer switch for the inside gauges. You know, you can make them dimmer if you want to. Right now I've got them full blast so you can see them good. And your headlight controls are here. There's your parking lights. It has an automatic feature. You can turn it off if you need to. Automatic, and then you've got parking lights, and then your headlights, and then your fog lights. You just push the button there and it'll turn those on, and it'll let you know if the fog lights are on or off by pushing the little green indicator there. Four-wheel drive controls are as easy as turning a knob. You have two-wheel drive high, automatic, four-wheel drive high, and four-wheel drive low. So that way, you know, it has a true four-wheel drive system. It's not just like an all-wheel drive type system. Also has a trailer brake control, so you can adjust the gain on the trailer brake system using these buttons here. And right now, of course, there's nothing hooked up to it, but it will allow you to kind of look on the screen here once you start pushing it to adjust it. So right here is your traction control button. You can turn that off if you need to. Oh, it's always on unless you turn it off. Parking sensors are on now, but you can turn those off in case if they're beeping at you and you just don't want to hear them, and also you know what you're doing. The lane keeping warning system will alert you if you are swerving outside of your lane, and so that's on. You can turn that off there. Plus you have adjustable pedals, so you have the ability to move your accelerator and your brake pedal in and out. I don't know if you can see if they're moving. They'll move in and out. So if you can get your seat adjusted, your steering wheel adjusted and all that, you can also adjust your pedals too. So also check this out. You have a tilt and telescoping steering column, and this is preset. You can make it to where it presets to a certain position, just like you can the seat. Pretty cool. You can get it, fine-tune it really easy even while you're driving. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at the steering wheel. This is like that cocoa color matching the rest of the vehicle, which I think is awesome. And very comfortable, soft, good thickness steering wheel. The reason why when I say soft, it gives a little bit when you push into it. So if you're gripping the steering wheel, you get a really good grip, but also it doesn't fatigue your hand by, you know, digging into your bones of your hand or whatever. So you got the stitching there on the inside, and also I like the way it has this accent here. It's kind of like a metallic look, plus you have the chrome here in the center, and it's got the Denali badge there, which is looking awesome. So let's go ahead and check out some of the buttons. First, I want to mention that on the back of the steering wheel, see if you can see back here, these buttons here, they're on both sides. So just putting your hands on the steering wheel like so, you can adjust the volume on the right side here. So I can adjust the volume there. And on the left side of the steering wheel, I can change through the presets on the radio. And you'll notice it'll pop up right there in front of you, between the gauges. Awesome, you know, safety feature, I think, because it keeps your hands on the wheel and your eyes straight forward while you're driving. Okay, so that's, you know, the hidden buttons back there, which are very convenient. So let's check out the buttons here in the front. This is your cruise control, and well, first of all, this has your heated steering wheel, and if you've never experienced a heated steering wheel in a cold winter time, then you got to try it sometime, because on a cold day, touching a heated steering wheel and driving with a heated steering wheel vehicle when you first start off is really awesome. It makes all the difference in the world. So even if you have gloves on. So cruise control, just have to make sure it's turned on by pushing that button, and it'll let you know, give you a little indicator there that it's turned on. You can see it going on and off there, and you can cancel it with this button, turn it off. And then you can set it with this button, change your speed. You can resume with that button there. So this also has what's called a collision alert system. So this button that's what that's for. I don't know if you can see that. So you got this collision alert system. I'm going to push it, and as I keep pushing it, it's going to cycle through off, far distance, medium distance, and then close distance. So it's going to alert you. And this is collision alert, okay? So this is gonna alert you if you're going to hit something in front of you, okay? So this will kind of, you know, help you get your attention again. If you're not paying attention, it looks like you're gonna hit something. So that's the whole thing. And also setting the different distances, you know, helps out depending on the traffic. If you get a lot of false alarms, you can change the distance, which is pretty awesome. So that's your buttons there on the left side of the steering wheel. On the right side of the steering wheel, we have your voice recognition system and your phone, Bluetooth phone buttons here. So once you pair your Bluetooth phone with the system, you can answer calls, make calls with that button, and you can hang up here. Now, this is also the voice recognition button, to where you can push that button and you can say, go to a specific address, call a certain person, goes tune to a specific station on the radio. Lots and lots of cool voice commands that you can use that keeps your hands on the wheel, eyes on the road while you're staying productive. It's really awesome. Highly recommend learning how to use properly the voice command system in a vehicle, because first of all, it's going to be here for the future, so you're eventually going to have to learn it. But also, it's just a really good, I think, safety feature in addition to the convenience. But you also have these buttons here, the arrows and then the little check mark. They correspond with this screen in the center of the gauges. So you have your RPM gauge on the left side, your speedometer gauge there on the right, and then you have these digital gauges here on the top. Your oil pressure, temperature, engine temperature here, and then you have fuel gauge, and then your voltage, your battery voltage. Plus you have this neat little compass up here, which is awesome. Okay, so right now we're kind of in like some random screen, so I'm going to go out of there, and I'm going to go up here, show you that this is a part of a whole menu system. Let's start here with the information screen. So the information screen starts with a digital speedometer, which is pretty cool. That's what I would probably leave it on all the time. Scrolling down, you can give you your trip. A gives your average fuel economy, average speed, and how many miles you've driven. Scrolling down again will give you your second trip. Scrolling down again will give your fuel range, how far you can drive before you have to get gas, plus your fuel economy in the moment. Plus it'll show you whether you're running on V8 or 4 cylinders, because it can cut back depending on how much power you need. It'll show you what you're actually running in that moment, which is pretty cool. Also, here's the oil life remaining, in other words, how long it's before you have to change the oil. Tire pressure in each tire, and a blank screen in case you just don't want to see anything. Then it scrolls back to your digital speedometer. So I'm going to scroll to the left, and let's go over here to the audio. This basically just kind of shows you what your radio is doing. I'm going to scroll through, and I can actually scroll through the stations right now, different stations. I'm going to scroll out of that, go into the phone, and once you pair your phone, there's no phone connected, but you'll be able to see like a caller ID and different things like that. Okay, so scrolling back, we'll go down to the navigation, which is pretty awesome because it gives you a little navigation map, kind of where you're at, where you're going. If you have like a specific address that you're going to, it will, you know, kind of direct you in that direction right there in front of you, so you don't have to look over to the big screen. You actually have some hints right there. Of course, you will have it on the big screen as well, but you know, this kind of just helps out. And then you got all kinds of settings down here that you can change if you need to. So I think you get the idea. You have this whole menu system here, and you don't actually have to go in there all the time. I would just leave it on the digital speedometer myself. If you, like, say if the oil needs to be changed, or the tire pressure is low, or any little one of those alert things that we looked at, if any of those are out of spec, it's going to pop up and tell you anyway. So there's no reason to scroll in there and look at that all the time. It's just there in case you want to look at it, for the most part. Okay, so over here is your turn signal, as well as your windshield wipers and washers and everything for the front and the back. And there's your column shifter here. So the 8-speed transmission, I'm going to go ahead and put it in reverse, just so we can see what the backup camera looks like over here. So the backup camera is all color and clear, crisp, and it's a little bit of a wide angle lens. So you can see the bumper to the sky. You can really back up to a trailer easy. But as I turn the steering wheel, you can see it has those grid lines that turn as well, just kind of give me an estimated trajectory of the vehicle as I back up. Plus it has this red zone, so you don't want to get any closer to anything, any closer than that for sure. Okay, so continuing on with the column shifter, another thing I just want to mention, while you're in reverse, your parking sensors are active as well, so that's another thing. Okay, so neutral, there's drive. This is your normal drive position. It'll cycle through all the 8 gear ratios, however it needs to do it. And if you need to do a manual type thing, let's say you want to you know, downshift or whatever, you can go down here one last time to M, which is manual mode. So you'll see M1 will pop up there. So you see this plus and minus on the shifter. That's how you actually cycle through the gear ratios. So I'm going to push that button, M2, M3. Apparently you can cycle all the way up to 8th gear. I don't think it'll actually let you start off in 8th gear, but it's actually showing all the gear ratios that you can go into just by pushing those buttons. Another thing about this column shifter is at the very end is your tow and haul button, and pushing that will let the vehicle know that you have some extra weight that it needs to handle. Another thing you'll notice, that it'll replace the voltage gauge here. I'm going to push it again. You'll notice it disappears and comes back as a transmission temperature gauge. Isn't that awesome? And it'll hold the shift points. It actually use some engine braking in different ways to handle the extra weight. So it kind of automatically does it. You just have to make sure you push that button when you're hauling, especially heavy trailers. Okay, so let's go back here to the center stack. So we already saw the backup camera and all that stuff, but there's a lot more to this screen than just that. You've got, right now we're in the home screen, so this little home button, little house, this is what that looks like. So we have your icons here, and you can go into pretty much anything directly from the home button. Have an audio screen, you have your presets there at the bottom, You can tune to different stations, and you can play music through different media sources, say your CD player, AM, FM, satellite radio. Plus you can play music through like an auxiliary input and a USB stuff, and also USB, but also Bluetooth audio. So there's like tons of different ways of playing music through the sound system. So you can cycle through just by pushing that button right there. Yeah, we're not gonna pair anything right now. Okay, so let's go back to, you notice you have some icons here. We're gonna start from the keep going back to the home screen because I just want to show you all the features. Once you pair a phone, you'll have access to contacts, recent calls, a keypad there. You can access voicemail. Okay, so push the home button again, and projection. This is kind of an interesting, I'm not really sure why they use that name, but projection is basically connecting to your cell phone, a smartphone. So you have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto and different things like that, which you'll be able to use in this vehicle. But once you actually pair a device and you install that app, it will change that icon to reflect whatever you are using at the time. So that is just right now, it's nothing connected, so you would have to connect something in order to utilize that. Navigation. This is an awesome navigation screen. Look how crisp that the colors are, the lines are. You can easily see it. You can zoom in, you can zoom out. You can put in specific destinations. I'm going to zoom out so you can see actually the ocean over there and all that stuff right here in the heart of Myrtle Beach. Really awesome dealership, easy to get to and all that stuff. Okay, so let's go back to the home screen. You have all kinds of different settings here that you can scroll through. So you can, Apple CarPlay is in there. Let's go back out of that. Weather, this is pretty awesome. You get to see the hourly weather. Also, you can get en route weather, see what the weather is going to be like as you're heading somewhere. You can actually have like a weather map, which is awesome. Look at that, you can actually see the radar and all that stuff. That's really helpful. Okay, let's go back out of that. Text messages, you can actually receive and send text messages. Now it's going to be a voice recognition type system, and you're going to have certain responses that you can use, which is pretty much the safe way to do it. You can find out what the traffic's going to be like too in different areas, whether there's a problem or something on your way somewhere. So I think you get the idea. Lots of cool features here. You got your outside temperature, clock over here, and all kinds of different features that you can utilize to your benefit while you're driving or traveling or whatever. Okay, another cool thing is, this is probably the neatest thing that I've seen in a while in a vehicle. Secret compartment. So check out this button. I'm gonna push that. Look at that. And it's got a USB port in there. Isn't that awesome? And it goes back in there pretty far, so you can like, that's where you put your gold or whatever, your valuables. Put a stack of gold coins in there. It's like a little hidden safe. And nobody, I won't tell nobody it's there, so just gonna keep it a secret. Isn't that awesome? It completely utilizes the space that you would normally be wasted back there in a secret hidden compartment. That's awesome. Alright, so you have a volume knob, pretty traditional volume knob, tuned through the stations. We've already met the home button there with a little house. Change through your tracks or whatever on your CD player or whatever. You have media, radio, eject the CD player. CD player is kind of hidden there. So down here is your climate control, and you have a dual zone. It's actually a tri-zone because you have the rear as well. So right now they're synced together, so you can see all of them are kind of doing their thing, all with the driver's side, and it's going to show you some information there on the screen as well. But if you want to unsync it, all you have to do is either push this unsync button, it'll unsync it, or you can just start adjusting one of the passenger or the rear temperatures, and it will unsync it. Your rear climate is down here, and you can adjust the temperature separately if you want to, your fan speed and all that good stuff. Where you want the air to blow, your fan speed here in the front is here, and air to blow, recirculate the air. Your front and rear defrosters is there, and passenger heated and cooled seat controls are here. I actually have the cooled seat on right now, and you can see it cycles through by pushing the button to different levels of speeds or amounts. So like say if it's a heated seat, it will get, you know, warmer, or not less warm, I guess you can say. So right here is pretty neat. A little place to put, looks like a perfect place to put your cell phone. You prop it up in here. I have 2 USB ports to either play music through the sound system or charge your cell phone. And then you have a 12-volt power supply. That closes up. Under here you have cup holders. Convenient. Okay, so this is the center armrest, and let me get the key out of the way because I want to show you this right here. This is a wireless charging port, so you can set a cell phone that has that capability. Just set it right there and it automatically charges. Okay, now you can put other stuff there, like I put the key there. It's not going to it's not really a big deal. Okay, you know, you don't really want to put it says you don't want to put like metal objects and stuff like there, like paper clips and just like a metal key laying it there. It'll interfere with the phone. Like if you set the phone on top of it, it's not going to charge. So it's just showing you you want to just have the phone directly on there. I don't know exactly how it works. Magic, I guess. But anyways, that's the wireless charging system there. Okay, so this opens up and you have your auxiliary input plus 2 more USBs, place to put business cards, little storage pocket there, 12-volt power supply there, plus this huge storage area, and it has a place for file hangers. You can actually use this as like a file cabinet if you want to, which is awesome. There's a little light in there. Now this is a huge compartment, so if you don't use it for files, it's going to get pretty much cluttered up with junk. So just letting you know that right now. Okay, so the auto dim rearview mirror, we already see that it's auto dimming because of my shade getting in the way. OnStar buttons are right there in case you have any questions or an emergency or anything like that. They're always there to help you out. Okay, so up here you have some quick reading lights, little tap lights there, LEDs. Your HomeLink garage door opener controls are there. And now when I showed you the lift gate, the tailgate, you can actually set it to a 3/4 opening position, because let's say you had a low garage or something like that, you can, you know, change that. Okay, so interior lights, you can turn those all on here. You can turn them to where when the door opens that they'll turn on, or you can have that off if you want to. Place to put your shades is here, and conversation mirror is there. Isn't that awesome? So you can keep an eye on the backseat drivers if they're driving you nuts. And your sunroof is controlled here. So let's take a look here. It has a shade that blocks 100% of the light, opens up, and you can tilt it like so. You can slide it like so. Open it up, get some fresh air coming through. Or you can close it up and close the shade. Okay, so the visors have mirrors and also these lights that slowly turn on, which is awesome. Same thing on the passenger side. They also slide out, so you can slide them out and get them in the position you want, which is cool. There's your microphone for your Bluetooth phone. Okay, so let's take a look at the visibility out the back. Now you have all those sensors to help out with this. With your parking sensors, you have blind spot monitoring sensors and backup cameras, all that stuff, but you can see pretty darn good. All right, so there you have it. 2016 Yukon Denali. Lots and lots and lots of features. I probably forgot to mention some of them. Maybe you can help me out with that. If there's anything I skipped over, let me know in the comments. Parking brake is here. the left foot. But yeah, there's a lot. I mean, I could talk about this vehicle all day because it's so awesome. But anyways, if you have any experience with the Yukon Denali, maybe you've test driven one, maybe you know somebody that has one, maybe you're thinking about buying one, let me know in the comments. Leave some information for everybody to benefit from. That's the whole point of this video. So thank you for watching, and thank you to Hyatt Buick GMC here in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Cool dealership. I'll leave their contact information in the description, and I'll see you guys next time.